Okay, so what was that I need to do? Oh yeah, that was good. Okay, so let's see. Hello world. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
So today's topic.
Alright, we all love it when our men are vulnerable.
Oh my god. I can't wait. This is so good, so good, so good. Okay, so hello world. I can't keep a straight face. I can't be serious. I'm not a very serious person. But for this, I mean, like, this is crazy. Anyways, so I want to talk about this video that I came across. First of all, Ava and Preach are hilarious. I've just recently been getting into their stuff, but they talk a lot about like toxic masculinity and all these kinds of things. And this video, I keep playing it. This video is by far like the best example that you can find of like how even in society it's so common for women to just be very toxic towards men. And I'm going to respond to this. So I'm going to watch this.
So today's topic.
Alright, we all love it when our men are vulnerable and show emotion, right? Well, according to singer Rihanna, it depends what they're crying about. That's right. Rihanna posted this meme to Instagram that said, if we get together and your ex died and you cry, you single. Yes, Rihanna, yes, Riri. Now, could you imagine somebody says you and you start weeping? I'm sorry, I think that there is a time and place for everything, and I think if you have such uncontrollable emotion when it comes to that person, and you can't even control it to not do it in front of your current spouse, that you might still have some type of feelings for that person. 100,000% I agree.
This is how I feel.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. So hold on. So do you want? So do you want someone to be vulnerable or someone that controls their emotions?
Alright, we all love it when our men are vulnerable and show emotion, right?
And when men can't control the fact that they are crying over someone they potentially loved,
Women
over
do
someone
it.
that they had kids with, over someone that they shared intimacy with, and that this person is no longer going to be alive. And if I cry, if I show that I care deeply about this person, I'm single. So this is what I mean when I say be careful who you fall for, because a lot of people claim they love, but in reality what they want is ownership. What they want is a trophy. They want someone that they can say that they're with, so that their friends and family will be like, oh, you're with somebody, and they can get that love and affection, but they're not really capable. In our last video, we talked about possessiveness in relationships, and we recognized how a lot of people don't recognize how possessive they're being. This, what she presented to you, is level 99 possessive.
No, oh yeah.
Over, because the person is dead. The person's dead.
Exactly.
No longer affect the relationship in no kind of way, except if you buy for Christmas a Ouija board, and even then, you have to open that bitch and play it because it's a 2 to 5 people game. But to be clear, if you get 2 to 5 people to help you cheat with a Ouija board, you kind of deserve to be able to cheat. Imagine if you're like using the Ouija board with 2 niggas, and then your girl walks in, and you're like, oh. So you gonna just cheat on me with this ghost bitch? You want her to play this thing? She probably sucking your dick right now. Is you alright? Where you at, bitch? Who you gonna call? Hopebusters.
Hopebusters. My head hurts.
I think it's interesting that she said that, it's disrespectful to cry in front of her about dead ex. The irony is that
that's toxic.
if I had never dated that that person, I may never have become the man that you are seeing today, that you are in a relationship with now. I have friends that I'm no longer friends with, that I haven't been friends with for 10, 15 years, either because we grew apart and all that stuff. But those people were a big part of
Yeah, very influential.
I mean, I was spending every single day with these people, and then after a while, it just kind of fizzled out because of a difference in perspective. But if I were to find out today that my childhood friends just died randomly, it would bring me a whole bunch of sadness. And they were necessary for me to get to where I am today. So I just hope that they get to where they need to go to be happy for themselves. And I can probably guarantee you that the person who's suffering, who's sad, probably doesn't want to be.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to feel that,
See?
but it inherently is them, and it's overcoming them, and they're allowing themselves to go through that. So be mindful of that. As a man, I don't want to be crying over someone that died, but if I'm overcome with that emotion, don't deny me that expression, because it's going to be a lot harder for me to trust you and to be able to share that with you in the future when it's about something that you actually are interested in.
It's like I have to be open about shit, but this shit I have to suppress. Out of all the things like crying, if I listen, you know, if I cry, not because big boys don't cry or whatever, it's just if I cry, I don't want to cry. But if it happens,
I know it's really hard for men.
bitch, let it happen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Get
Yeah.
out the way! Get out the way!
In our 9-year marriage that I've seen Freddie cry. One was the passing of his father, and then the other before that was the day we got married. Oh, yeah. So if I were to see this man next to me cry over another,
And this is what makes me really
Ugh.
annoyed with women when it comes to their speeches on, hey man, be more vulnerable, hey man,
I can't believe they have their husbands
you
with them
want us
too.
to show emotions when it's convenient for you. Which is
Yeah.
why most men don't
Yes.
actually want to show you guys emotions, because a lot of women are not worthy of it. On one hand, you appreciate the magnitude of our cries when we do cry, meaning we cry over our father, we cry over our marriage, right? Because you're like, oh, this is so amazing, he's willing to let me see it. But then when we want to cry over stuff that we really care about as well, you want to reduce that ability for us to do so, because what, it makes you feel more secure. Then it's not about us showing our emotions.
It's about you.
Getting what you want, and that you get to see a part of ourselves that we don't share to other people. You feel special. You want us to show you our emotions because you know we're stoic out there. So you want to feel special when we cry in front of you because we're like, we're letting you, but you get that special.
But it has to make you feel comfortable.
That's why it's bullshit. It's so much bullshit when people tell us to be more sensitive and to be more emotionally open. You don't actually want that. You want it
I
at your
do.
pace. Those tears are just for me.
It's fucking creepy if you think about it. Yeah. These are my tears, and then she just takes her tears.
Puts them in a little box or a little jar like a
At
crybaby.
the end of the day, ladies, you gotta make up your mind. Do you guys want us to be emotional or you don't? Because if you do, you don't get to put a lid on that. You don't get to tell us when we do get to cry or when we don't.
Pandora. Okay. So that was so good. Like they touched on so many different things that I would have said myself. Like I constantly talk about toxic masculinity and how boys are raised to feel no emotions, or to not to feel no emotions, but to suppress it all because it's not manly, or it's, you know, whatever. It's so awful. First of all, I'm getting off topic. First of all, let's talk about how they were like sitting there with their husbands, literally just sitting there with their husbands, talking about
we all love it.
how they don't want their men to cry over another woman who's dead, by the way. Like, what? First of all, an ex. An ex is somebody from your past. If they let that shit go, then you have to let that shit go. Like, whatever negative feelings or energies you have towards the person that you're with, their past, that is awful. That's toxic, because that's their past. That isn't who they are anymore. That isn't a part of like their present right now and what in the current, what's happening right now. So even if you were to encourage your spouse to open up to you about your exes, you can't get mad. You can't be like, oh, you are still friends with them, or oh, you still talk to them, or it's like a trial. But like, there are some men that take it and run with it and they are fucking with their exes or whatever. But like, this is something that's totally different. This is like, this person has died and you're showing emotion about this. Like, I cry watching like people on TV die. I cry watching horses and dogs die in movies. Like, I cry. So I'm sorry, but I already know that if one of my exes, all of which I have no feelings for, like sexually or emotionally anymore, like I don't want to ever be back in a relationship with any of them, I know already that I will definitely cry. I would definitely cry, because I will be like, that was a huge part of who I am today. They were a huge part of who I am today. I learned so many lessons with my exes. I learned so many behavioral changes with my exes. Sorry that the lighting is bad, by the way. But it's like mourning a piece of you that is in the past that you have to officially let go of now. You were once this person, right? And now you're not that person anymore. You were this person when you were with them, and now you're not that person anymore. You're actually hopefully doing better, because with every relationship, whether it be friendship, family members, there are family members that you may have to drop that are toxic and move on. With every relationship you come through in life, you're going to change and you're going to grow. I hope that you grow. I hope that you expand your mind and your feelings and the way that you think and the way that you do things. So it's basically like mourning a piece of your life that is completely and entirely gone. And also a love that you had for somebody, because regardless, if you dated somebody and it was a long time, you love them. If they're the parent to your children, like, you know, your ex, and you guys had a kid together or kids together, that's a whole nother loss that you're gonna have to mourn, because now your kids are going through it. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever tell somebody in general, like women, I already know women would be like, I'm just sad, like, you don't have to be so upset about it, quit being so possessive. But literally every woman in this video was like, no, he's not allowed to cry over his ex, over some other, like he said, the point where he said literally that you want us to cry when it's convenient for you. That is, I was like, I keep playing this video on accident. I was like, yes, because that's so true. This is how you can tell you're in a possessive relationship over a constructive and caring relationship. One that you're going to actually grow with, and you're going to expand your life with, and make beautiful, beautiful life progresses with. Possession is something very hard, and it's very toxic, but you know, if you're with somebody who is possessive in a way that's like this, like that is a possessive behavior. Like they were saying, like, you are mad that I'm crying about somebody who is dead, who's no longer here anymore. Like, you don't have to compete with them at all. You don't have to compete with them ever again. If you were. So, and it's to satisfy because they feel insecure. Now, what they were saying is that how these men are feeling isn't valid enough to pacify what's going on with them, the women. It's like, no, my feelings are more important than yours. My feelings and how I feel is more important than how you feel about your dead ex. And I say that in a way that's like how they are saying it. I don't feel that way. I am completely opposite. If my spouse, I want them to come to me. I want him to come to me, and I want him to open up to me, and I want him to cry, because I'm probably gonna cry with him because I'm super emo. But then again, I'm like, be strong, bitch. Like, you gotta be strong for this man. And then I'm gonna hold him and I'm gonna let him cry, because first of all, that is a very sacred moment. Like, that is your man opening up to you, and he is feeling safe with you. He is feeling comfortable with you. He is feeling very, very vulnerable. And that is so sacred. And how you handle that moment of vulnerability is super crucial and super important. I mean, like, it's the most important. If you are toxic about it and you're like, oh my God, like, if you're standoffish or you're like, ew, and you don't comfort, or you don't like, and I get it, a lot of people don't like crying. Like, there's people that like literally are just like, they can't handle crying. But you gotta break, if that's you, from woman to woman, you're gonna have to break out of that, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And I'm telling you, how you handle that moment when your man has a breakdown and he's emotionally vulnerable with you is super important, and it's super crucial, because it will lay the foundation for the rest of your relationship and how he opens up to you ever about anything, not just about a dead ex, not just about a dead parent, but about anything, about how he feels, what's going on in his life today, about how he feels about what's going on in your guys' relationship in general. It's going to make him standoffish. It's going to make him protective of his feelings and his emotion, because he's like, oh God, she does discussed it. Because let's face it, for years, for decades, men were told to man up and suck it up, don't do this, big boys don't cry, blah, 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 blah. Like, all of that toxic bullshit that, pardon my language, all of that toxic BS that men and women taught their sons when they were younger, and it's just instilled into them. And then society doesn't help by freaking having views like that, and having Rihanna, who I love to death, but posting something like that. And then people are going to talk about it, of course, because it's Rihanna. Like, she could have been joking and not really, she may not really have even meant it, you know, it could have been just a joke. But even the joke about that is to pacify it and to make it seem like it's normal to just be like, joke about it. It's not funny. I'm serious. Like, men are at a higher risk of committing suicide, and that is because of the fact that mental health for men is not even looked at as a serious issue. Now, granted, back in the 40s and the 50s, you know, they were throwing women in psych wards and locking us up for, you know, being, having baby blues and postpartum depression and all of that other stuff, because they were just like, oh, these bitches are crazy, so we're gonna lock them up. Like, they didn't know how to handle our emotions. And that is why it is so hard for men to express their emotions, because most of the time women try to overshadow men's emotions with their own. Like, oh, well, I'm sorry that you're sad about your ex dying, but I feel like you care more about your ex, and you're showing way more emotion towards your ex who is dead than you are towards anything I've ever done. Like, you gotta come down to a level of reasoning in your mind, and you gotta think about, like, if the roles were reversed, what would I need from my spouse? Comfort. Women, 9 times out of 10, they just want you, they may not even want you to say anything, they just want you to hold them. I mean, that's me. Like, sometimes I just want you to hold me. I don't need you to tell me everything is gonna be okay, or I don't need you to tell me that some false, you know, unrealistic reality. I just need you to hold me in the moment and let me dump it on you. Let me share it with you. Because as human beings, that's what we do. We kind of rub off our energy onto the other person. We kind of empty a load off of our shoulders onto somebody else, and they are, depending on who it is, they are willing to carry that baggage. I'm 110% willing to carry my man's baggage. Whatever he wants to dump and unload on me, he better, because I'm here for him. And I always want to be that ear and that option, that first person in his mind to run to and be like, you know, I just found out that this girl I used to date in high school or wherever, whenever, I just found out she died, and I'm really upset about it. And like, I want him to open up to me. Or if he just wants to cry, I want to let him cry. If he doesn't want me to see him like that, I will give him his space, but I will definitely ensure him, like, you are safe. I promise you. And I'm so sorry for your loss. You know, I will definitely comfort and calm and collect him. Like, I want to hold him and like a baby bird. I just keep thinking about my boyfriend crying, and now I want to cry. Like, that's how emotional I am. Like, that's why it could be mixed up, and what you're doing is you got to make sure you're not making it all about you, because it's not all about you. When your man finally opens up and becomes vulnerable with you, please let him do it. Please let him do it. Please let him do it, because I promise you won't regret it. You you're one of those women, like they were talking about, where he said you just want to be possessive. You don't want a boyfriend because you want to grow with them or love them. You want a boyfriend because you're like, look what I have, or look at this ring on my finger, or yada yada yada. Let me try to find it again.
Cry if I show that I care deeply about this person. I'm single. So this is what I mean when I say be careful what you fall for, because a lot of people claim they love, but in reality what they want is ownership.
Ownership. That I was trying to figure out how he worded it. Ownership. Perfect. Because, you know, that's exactly when it comes to being in a lot of people think that when you say possessive, you mean like, where you at, what are you doing? And yes, that's a part of it, like, but it can also be like that, like, you're not allowed to feel this way because I feel this way and my feelings are more important than yours. Like, that's how I view it. Women, we have got to change our mindset. We have got to change the way that we view men's mental health. We've got to change the way that we view men's emotions. We've got to change the way that we view masculinity in general. We have got to allow men to have their moments, to have their crying, ugly crying. You know, they sit with us. Unless you're with a toxic man who is like, ew, suck it up, buttercup, or whatever, then, you know, then that's different. But most men allow us to have those moments. Mine does. Mine holds me. So, and it is definitely there for me. So we have to allow our men to, and our boys, you know, the sons that we have to allow them to have that. And we have to raise them to understand that it is okay, and that it is not bad at all to have feelings and emotions. Your feelings are valid. You are valid. How you feel is important. You are important. You matter. And it is okay. We're not raising sociopaths and psychopaths here. We're not raising people to not have feelings and emotions. Okay, that's the exact opposite of what we want. This is why I really want to write a book about why there were so many like psychopaths and sociopaths in, you know, from the 30s to the 80s, early 90s. And it's because of and a majority of them were men, and it was because of the toxic masculinity and the way that we view men's mental health. True crime, psychology, mental health, it's all like, I have a lot of topics that I'm going to talk about on this channel. It's going to vary, it's going to switch up, it's going to always be different. It's going to be whatever I feel like doing, because I just do what I want to do. I do what I want to do. Anyway, So yeah, that's my topic for today. Allow your man, I'm going to say it once again, ladies, this is for y'all. Allow your man to be vulnerable. And when he does have a moment of vulnerability, please, please, please take care of that moment. Do not let that moment pass you by. Do not abuse that moment. Please do not be toxic or possessive or insecure. Allow them to feel that. That's their feelings. It's valid. Allow them to have that and be there for them. Ask them if they what they need, and you will be there for them. If they need space, give them that space, and don't be like, oh my god, they're gonna break up with me, or don't be worried about it. Give them that space. Some people need space. Some people need to be cuddled. Some people need to be held. Some people need to have you just go out, go get them some food, bring it back, because they had that moment to cry and let it out, and you were gone, you weren't in the house, you weren't nowhere to be around, and you just went out and got them some food and brought it back, or, did something. So figure out what your man's love language is and express it, feed into it. And I'm here talking about it because that's all I want from my man. And I want, my sons, I want their wives to be like, thank you, mom-in-law, for raising a man that is totally not completely shut off and cold or apathetic or, holding it all in. Thank you. Because men want to feel safe, and they want to open up. They want to have moments of vulnerability. They really do. But it's hard. It's so hard for them. It's 10 times harder for them than it is for us. It really is. That's why I said how you handle that moment is crucial. It's a sacred moment. Treat it as such. Be there. Take care. Feed them. Love me, feed me, never leave me. Love me, feed me, never leave me. I just made that up. I don't know. But, that's my motto, But, yeah, please. And stop joking about that stuff, because it's not cute. It's really not cute. It's, gross, actually. I don't know. I saw the looks on their husband's face, and they were just they're like, fuck, I gotta be an asshole for the rest of my life. No, I'm kidding. I gotta be sheltered, built, just.
They want someone that they can say that they're with, so that their friends and family will be like, oh, you're with somebody, and they can get that love and affection, but they're not really capable. In our last video, we talked about possessiveness in relationships, and we recognized how a lot of people don't recognize how possessive they're being. This was
Yes.
Science 2, it's level 99 possessive.
Yeah, they, like he said, they don't realize that they're being possessive. Because I had my toxic traits in my past. That's why I say my exes have taught me, and how I want to get better. I want to be a better mom. I want to be a better wife. I'm not a wife. I want to be a better girlfriend. I want to be a better, daughter. I want to be a better person in general. And I want to elevate every time. I just, for me to think that this is okay is just not. It's hard to believe that I actually used to be insecure and jealous like this. I don't think I would have ever been jealous of somebody who was dead, because that's so stupid. That's the dumbest thing they're dead. They're dead. They're dead. They're never coming back. There's no competition between you and this other woman, so they're dead. I could never be jealous of somebody dead, but an ex, I have been jealous of exes before, and it's not a good feeling. And I'm not that way anymore, and it's because of the fact that I learned, and I was like, that was toxic, and I don't like being treated that way. I don't like people being possessive or jealous of my past, and me, so I just hope I'm gonna upload this tonight. Once again, sorry for it's dark, it's nighttime, and I don't have lighting yet. I will eventually. I'm gonna try to get lighting and a mic and all that good stuff because I'm excited. I feel like my love and my light and my love for humanity and my love for what's right in the world and what's love, I feel like it's gonna go far, because all I want to talk about is love, like love, and this is how you love. Love's not possessive. Love is very patient. Love is kind. You know the saying. I don't have to say it. Love is allowing somebody to be vulnerable with you. That's love. About anything. About their ex. About anything. So, see you later, ladies. Please, please love your man. Love on him. Let him know he's safe with you. His emotions and his feelings are safe with you. You won't ever mock him, make fun of him, or, you know, even talk trash about him with your girlfriends, or talk about how, oh, he crap. Please don't do that. Be his safe place. Love. I love love. All right. Bye.